I, 21, currently live with my girlfriend, 22. I moved in with her about a month ago. Prior to that I lived with my parents. I finished a building apprenticeship in February and got moved from minimum wage to $27.50 per hour. I agreed to work at min wage for the duration of my 3-year apprenticeship in exchange for my boss buying me a full set of kit over the course of the 3 years, as originally I was going to go off on my own at the end of the apprenticeship, but now I'm staying instead. He also gifted me a brand new tool trailer worth $16K when I completed my apprenticeship, so don't start on my boss, he's a great guy. When my parents found out about the wage increase, they demanded that I start paying rent of $350 per week. Now I would have been happy to pay some rent, but paying always what a studio apartment is worth for a bedroom I share with my brother is ridiculous. I was already paying 1/3 of the household bills, as well as dropping my younger brother, 17, and sister, 15, to school on my way to work every day and picking them up after work, a detour of about half an hour, as well as driving my sister to horse shows almost every weekend over the summer, which necessitated taking the occasional Monday off work. Plus I do all the repairs around their house, replacing windows, guttering, fixing the roof, etc., for free. So, I refused and offered $150 per week and outlined the things I do for them. They said it was $350 plus all the above or move out. My girlfriend had just moved out of home into a studio apartment in order to be closer to Vic University, so she offered to let me move in with her. Her apartment is $395 plus bills, which have been around $30 per week per person, and it's almost half an hour closer to work than the parents was. I said to my parents in February that I was giving them 2 months notice, then I would be moving out, no longer contributing to bills, and no longer helping out around the house or picking up and dropping off my siblings. They said that was fine. I think they were trying to call my bluff. I moved out in April and stopped paying bills and helping with the house, but kept driving my siblings to school as my parents' car shat itself, and it took them a few months to save enough to get it fixed. I stopped driving them last week, and today my mom called me and begged me to start again and to come fix the floor of the laundry. The washing machine had leaked and the plasterboard wall was falling apart at the bottom. I refused to help with my siblings and told her that my rate was $27 per hour. But since she's family, if she wanted me to fix it, I'd only charge her $17 per hour. She freaked out and called me selfish and ungrateful. Now my parents are refusing to speak to me, and my siblings are pissed at me that they now have to walk 30 minutes from home to the nearest bus stop. We live rural. Not the idiot. You gave them advanced notice that you would be moving out. It seems that what they were asking you to pay was 4x the amount of a studio apartment, which is excessive. Especially since you were already contributing financially, as well in other ways. The only thing that bothers me is that now your siblings are facing the consequences of your parents' poor planning. It would be kind of you to help them out, they didn't ask for this situation. I don't think you're an idiot because, at 21 and not the parent, you aren't obligated to help your parents with your younger siblings, but the whole situation is just really horrible because of your parents, though may or may not be their fault. It doesn't seem to be able to be determined based on what you shared. As an aside, you should be proud of yourself for working hard and staying the course to make it through an apprenticeship and learning a trade. Your parents pushed the line so far, thinking you wouldn't leave. They got greedy and now they're screwed. They clearly didn't think it through. You were doing all the school drop-offs and pickups, doing all the home repairs, paying 1/3 of the household bills, doing taxi service for horse shows for your sister every weekend. What idiots. No one would pay $350 a week on top of all that to share a small bedroom with their brother. Just doing the easy math, you know there are far better options. I love that they stomped their feet and said it's all or nothing, and you said okay bye. Now they're pissed. I can't stop laughing. You reap what you sow. Not the idiot. Mom passed 4 years ago and my sister and I received inheritance. All Mom owned was split between us equally except for her house. In her will she wrote the house goes to whoever has kids in the future to help the grandchildren. Then mentioned that if me and my sister have kids we'll split house value in half. It was obvious my sister and her previously child-free husband wanted the house so bad cause within weeks of the funeral, she announced she was pregnant but couldn't keep it since she announced miscarriage days later. She didn't stop till she had a son over a year later. She kept getting involved in my marriage, advising me to reconsider cause of my husband's condition that had us suffer from infertility. He was also in remission for his mental condition when he had an accident that impacted his jaw and left leg. Recovery's been long and draining, we got help from nobody, the past years were awful. My sister kept referring to my mom's house as officially her son's since she has a kid and I don't and won't. Till my husband and I found out we are expecting recently. We invited family over to make the announcement, and when she heard she was shocked. She asked if I was serious, then called me unbelievable to go as far as to lie just so I get to share her kid's house. I was speechless. She said even if I was pregnant we shouldn't be parents, and brought up my husband's BPD, ignoring he recovered, brought up his disability which he got rehab for, saying this was a mistake cause she never expected me to stay with my husband after everything. My husband heard that, but kept smiling at her as she listed the reasons why we should reconsider keeping this baby. I argued that we decide is none of her business, and my husband got involved and sarcastically said, "Oh, Aunt Helen is just mad now that she'll have to share Mama's house, just say it, it's written all over your face." This upset her a lot. It escalated and I told her and brother-in-law to leave. My dad and aunt told me not to, but I kicked her out. My aunt said my sister was surprised and under the impression me and my husband weren't gonna work due to several reasons including infertility, so she was right to react this way. Adding she didn't appreciate what my husband said and the house is last of my sister's worries because she promised to look after me when my mom passed. They want me to apologize and resolve this. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Oh my god, what an absolute psychopath. Get a lawyer, get a copy of that will, and only communicate through that lawyer. She will make your life miserable no matter what happens from here on out. I would cut contact and let a legal team deal with any situation regarding the will and the house. Your sister sounds like a piece of work. She's in such a hurry to get pregnant to get that house that she barely waited for the last shovel to make it onto your mom's grave before she was announcing a pregnancy, probably way too early to try to stake a claim on it. Add all her interference in your relationship up to this point, and she was trying like hell to ensure that you couldn't have any claim to the house. Also, I don't know how your aunt could have watched her try to convince you to not go through with your pregnancy and think that your husband's comment was too far. Your mother is 100% the idiot and created a competition for who gets pregnant. You seem to assume your sister had her kids to have the house. I'm not sure why you feel you are excused to think that way, but she is not. I mean, you are doing the exact thing she is doing. You're both the idiot. I, 27, and my partner, 29, recently bought our first home. This was huge for us as we live in New Zealand and house prices have been skyrocketing over the last few years, and even with $70,000 that I inherited from my grandparents, both of us working full-time and a loan from my partner's parents of $20,000, we only just managed to scrape through and get the place we wanted. It is 2 bedrooms plus a small office where my partner will work from home. I'm a builder, he's a lawyer. My sister, 29, is unemployed and has no education past college. In addition, she has 5 kids and has recently found out she is pregnant with her 6th. Her partner is being let out of prison soon but will be on home detention, and her current landlords don't want him living in their house. He has historically been destructive of their property, so they've asked my sister to leave. She has until February next year to find a new place as that's when their fixed term is up. My sister approached me and asked to move into our place. I said if they didn't find somewhere in time that they could stay with us temporarily, but there wasn't enough room to stay for more than a couple weeks, and that 7 months was more than enough time to find a place. She basically said that there was plenty of room, partner and I could move into the office, less than 10 square meters in size. She and her partner would take our bedroom along with her youngest who is 2, and her other 4, 5, 9 and 9, would share the second bedroom. I said absolutely not, if she was desperate I'd help her, but I wasn't going to give up the majority of our house that we'd worked our asses off for. She retaliated that I didn't have kids, so I didn't know how hard life was, and I pointed out that when our grandparents passed away she got the same $70,000 that I did, as well as $15,000 for each of her children that she had at the time, so why hadn't she got a job and used that $130,000 as a deposit on a house for her children? She told me to back off and that what she spent her money on was none of my business. Basically, it's been over 2 weeks now and everyone in my family is hassling me to let her move into our house. My partner is completely against it due to the noise of 5 kids and a baby disturbing his work, and my sister's partner was an idiot to him years ago before he went to prison. I don't want to bend, but at the same time, my entire family is treating me like I'm a huge idiot, so I need some independent views. Not the idiot, and oh my god, do not let her in the door. She will ruin your life as she has ruined her own. How can your husband work from home if he has no office and there are little kids running everywhere? If you let her in your house, even in an emergency, it's going to be a gigantic mess that will be incredibly hard to untangle. How would you get them out if they refuse to leave? Absolutely no. State it once, twice, endlessly. Don't engage in reasoning or discussion. Just say over and over again the exact same message. The answer is no. Do not let your sister and her convict move in with you. I wouldn't even want them to know your address, since the convict tends to enjoy destroying property. They also might do a dump and drive with the kids. As for the family that is hassling you, hassle them back about not taking her in. Your sister's partner has been in prison. She is getting ready to have her 6th child. Can anyone say birth control? She expects you and your partner to move into the office of your home so that she and her jailbird partner can move into a bedroom with one of the kids as well as the newborn, and the 4 others would share the other bedroom. Then when you object, she tells you to back off, and that how she spends her money is none of your business. What is astounding is that she had $130K to better her life and instead blew it and now expects you to take care of her and her family. Her sense of entitlement is beyond the pale. No, your entire family is the idiots. If they are so worried about your sister, they can let her and her family move in with them. Background: I, 32, very recently lost my 8-year-old nephew to cancer, leukemia, that he suffered from for months. His parents, my brother and his wife, are absolutely devastated. He's their only son and the family's only grandchild. I married my husband 29, 3 years ago, and we've always wanted and planned to have kids, but we've endured financial and medical hardship, one of them being that my husband had a serious injury that cost him an eye. His other eye can't function properly without assistance. He loves my family and my family love him, but he can act out sometimes for no reason. This happened 2 weeks ago. After my nephew's funeral, my mom invited everyone to dinner to honor him. Knowing the occasion, I predicted there'd be potential sad moments and lot of silence. I took pregnancy test days prior and told my husband I was pregnant. He got so excited and was already on the online to tell everyone. He even said he was going on Facebook to announce it, but I asked him to quiet down and not mention it during the family dinner, and he said he could do that. We arrived to mom's house and my brother and his wife were there. They brought pictures of my nephew for us to look at. Some of the family were already in tears till dinner was ready. My brother and his wife were telling stories about my nephew that everyone was affected by. My husband kept giving me signals from under the table, saying we should announce that we're expecting to lighten up the mood. I warned him multiple times as he said he'll do it if I want. He stood up and was about to open his mouth when I quickly pretended to faint and fell back in my chair. My husband and the others freaked out and stood up. My husband kept shaking me while mom splashed water over me. I sat up in the chair and acted like I was fine afterwards. I then asked my husband to take me home, and he grabbed my stuff and helped me walk. Mom then asked me to call if I felt better. My husband was really buying it until I made sure we were out, then I let go of him and started walking casually. He stood there asking, "What the hell?" I told him I just faked fainting to stop him from making a mistake and announcing my pregnancy during dinner. He got mad and rushed back to ring my mom's door, but I stopped him in time. I had him get in the car and he lost it, calling me ridiculous and complaining about how I played him and ruined this opportunity for him. I called him crazy to think the dinner mom held for my recently departed nephew was an opportunity. I told him I care about maintaining a decent relationship with my brother and won't let an announcement ruin it. I also said that my family needs my support, not a happy new that what, supposed to magically make the pain go away. He argued we can't hide it forever and said I shouldn't hide the news like it's something to be ashamed of. He was and is still extremely upset that I lied to him and did this and keeps saying I shouldn't have made a scene like that. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Are you sure you want to have a child with this man? 1. He showed zero empathy towards a grieving family. 2. He failed to realize that as a person who is pregnant, you should be comfortable with any announcements made. 3. He made it all about him. Honestly, I worry that this will happen again and again during your marriage. Not the idiot. You make a scene. Worse than what he was about to do. Announcing your pregnancy at the dinner meant to honor a family member wouldn't lighten the mood. All it would do is hurt your family members. What did he honestly expect? You already told him no, and he agreed. Honestly, yes. It's his child too, but you're the one carrying it. He can be excited all he wants, but it should be you who gets the final say on when it comes out. Good for you for letting your family grieve. Not the idiot. He really thinks announcing a pregnancy is going to lighten up the mood about a dead child. He needs to let them grieve in peace and give them time. You guys can set up your own dinner where you announce it, and then the whole event is happy and allowing everyone to fully enjoy it. But honestly, for your brother and his wife, they may take the news very badly, as they may be sad and feel reminded of the loss of their son. Or they may take it as the opposite and almost feel as if he may be rebirthed. Either way, give them a bit of time if they don't take it well, and make sure you offer them support. I, 26, have a sister, 28. We haven't talked in 6 years. We were very close to not talking for like 4 years before that, and growing up we never had a good relationship. She was the person teachers loved, the smart kid in our family, the one who was naturally very gifted at academics. I was never. I struggled even with my best effort, and teachers hated me for it. When I would start out with a teacher, I was Kate's sister, and they had such high expectations for me, but soon learned I wasn't Kate, and some hated me for it. Some were just unable to understand I was trying my best but wasn't smart. I never was smart like that. Our parents really wanted me to be more like Kate. They would praise the crap out of her and tell me to try harder, to stop making excuses for my D grades. I found out I was artistic when I was like 7, after a really awesome substitute teacher made a huge impact on me. It didn't really matter to my parents though, and a year later my sister started to hate me because she felt I was ruining her reputation with teachers. She told me our parents should drop me off at a home for dumb and stupid kids. Over the years our parents really did encourage her to try and make me better, and would really encourage me to try and be more like her. Eventually we just both hated each other to the point of no return. She told me I ruined her life and made life harder for her with my lack of a brain, and I should have been aborted. We were 15 and 17 when that happened. Anyway, we haven't talked in years when suddenly she reaches out asking for a favor. That her future in-laws are close and she needs me to show up and make it seem like we still talk so they don't judge her. I threw her words in her face about me being aborted and told her I was too dumb to help her out. She told me I was petty and childish, and extended family sided with her on it because it's been so long. Why would I do that sort of thing? Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. 1. She doesn't want to actually fix anything, she wants to use you to lie to her in-laws. 2. You have no obligation to do anything for someone you've not spoken to for that long. 3. What your sister said was in my opinion unforgivable. 4. It sounds like your parents and sister failed you with their behavior. Not getting you help and expecting you to just get good grades. And 5. Your parents are the idiot for having a favorite child and not valuing you for yourself. First of all, I am so sorry about your childhood. This parenting dynamic is called the golden child and the scapegoat. It is definitely a form of child abuse. Secondly, you replied to petty with petty. Not good. Not bad either. This might have been a chance to explore whether your sister actually feels sorry for what she said and did. Maybe the whole quick, let's pretend we're friendly, was her testing the waters to see if you would even be willing to reconciliate. Screw her. That stuff stays with you a long time. Her saying that you should have been aborted was horrible and she was 17, it wasn't like she didn't know what it means. She didn't like your existence, she hasn't reached out in 6 years to try to mend things or apologize for being an idiot growing up.